hello. And it's
Hello.
that time again. We're here at the gift would make room for you with Cheryl T. Ricks. And today we have our amazing Marjorie McLean. And she is here to share what God is using her to do to make the community so much better than it was when she showed up. So welcome, Margie. Welcome.
Thank you for having me. How are you?
I am wonderful. This is a brand new year. But when this airs, it'll probably be a couple months out. But it's something about having a new year. But I realize that even with New Year's, there are still new days. We don't have to wait
hmm
till a brand new year show up, but we can
hmm
realize that God has given us a new day that we've never had before, and He's ordering our steps, and He's allowing us to do things that only He can help us do. So I just want to say welcome. And with that being said, please introduce yourself and tell us some of the things you're doing in the community.
Well, hello, everyone. My name is Margie McLean. I am the founder and CEO of Margie McLean Foundation, which is a nonprofit organization geared to working with mothers and also to work with fathers as well. And we also mentor our youth in the community. Also, I am a life coach, and then my business is Chemistry Growth Mindset. And there we are to transform your mind into thinking positive, loving yourself, taking care of yourself as well. And I also have a business called Chemistry Fashion Boutique, which is a fashion boutique for African American women to make you look good and feel good about yourself. Some of the activities that we're doing currently, planning the Divas Self-Care and Holistic Wellness Retreat, which will take place March 8th through the 10th in Charlotte, North Carolina. And there we are renewing minds. We are releasing things. We are getting rid of baggage. And you will not leave the same. I will say that. April, we are also planning a community baby shower called the Bundle of Joy. And there we help women, first-time moms, and also teen moms get them started. So we started with a starter kit. Not only do we give them free items such as Pampers, we also have communities resource organizations there to give them the information that they need to help them become a better parent.
Wow, that is amazing. And that was a lot.
Yes.
And you see how the Lord anoints us to do all these things that we
Yes.
do. And the greatest thing about God is that He always give us something that we're passionate about, something that means something to us.
Yes.
So what was the first thing you did? Was it the foundation, or was it the life coaching, or was it, the self-care? What was the first thing that God kind of got your juices flowing with?
The first thing he got my juices flowing was with my nonprofit, Margie McLean Foundation. It actually wasn't a foundation at first. When I became a teacher, I took a group that we started in my 10th grade year called Ladies Equality. And when I became a teacher, I saw that the young ladies did not have mentors or anything at their school. So I took that program with me and started mentoring young ladies. And then when I moved to the Virginia area, is when I pretty much decided to just make a nonprofit organization. I was already doing the work, but wanted to do a little bit further of what we was doing. I named it after my grandmother, not necessarily myself, but after my grandmother, which her name is Margie McLean, because she was kind of like the grandmother of the community. And so I wanted to make sure that I had an organization that represented her. And so we started from there, teaching the young ladies community service. We had classes for them to teach them how to dress for success. And also we talked about little issues that they possibly going through as adolescent teens. And so from there, we had speakers come in. We did a ceremony for them, induction ceremony. And it was just beautiful, and it just grew from there. So it grew from North Carolina to Virginia and Maryland.
Oh,
So.
wow. That is so awesome. And with the way the world is today, there's so many young people that don't have the guidance that they need,
Mm-mm.
or the support, or even the sounding board for somebody to ask questions of this Lord to know more than they do.
Mm-hmm.
Because we know how peers are. You ain't talking to your parents, you ain't talking to your friends of your
Right.
parents, your grandparents, you're talking to your peers, and your
Mm-hmm.
peers don't know half as much as you know most times. So that is really amazing. And so how did it go from that to the teen mom thing?
So when I moved back to North Carolina, well, actually, I started with a group, working with a group called Youth for Life, I believe it was in Richmond, and I saw where they was working with teen mothers that had like classes for them, and they also had a camp. So from there, I didn't think anything else of it, but when I came back, I saw that we had a lot of teen mothers that needed help. And then it just kind of grew from that. And I kind of looked it up to see if anyone else was doing a community baby shower. And I saw some things. And so, but I saw where I not only do I want them to come in, most of the ones that I saw was drive-throughs, but I wanted it where they get a full baby shower, but they also have resources that they needed. So we had like a college that would come and set up and give them information about college entry. We had someone to come in and talk about a doula, which, some of the parents never knew anything about that. This year, we are going to be focusing on our fathers. And I want to kind of dispel the myth that fathers are not in the homes or not taking care of their children. So we want to make sure that this year we are going to be focusing on the fathers this year. So we do have a speaker to come and talk to our men. And that's one of the things I saw with Youth for Life as well. They had the fathers there as well. So that's how I got started.
That is so amazing. And there's a lot of resources for women and girls and children, but there's not a lot of resources for men and young boys.
Right.
And that is huge. And sometimes, it's a man to say, we need to put some things together
Mhm.
for, the men and the boys. But when you're a woman, it's like you're interacting with not just women, but men and boys. So
Correct.
we need to and be holistic when we're looking at the whole family, not just the women, not just the kids, but also the men and the boys, because they need to know that there's a place for them in this world and that they can get the support and the help that they need to do the awesome, amazing things that they do as well. So that is really amazing. But I heard you mention the Abdullah. Tell us some more about what that is.
So a doula is, it's a little different from a midwife, but what they are is the supporter of the mother, and they give them the empowerment to let them know they can speak up for themselves as well. They show them ways that they can actually give birth properly, and also make sure that they are safe where they are. Um, and also to make sure that they are have a healthy birth as well, labor as well. So it's almost like they have someone that is an advocate for the mother. They give them different strategies on the best way to care for themselves while they're pregnant. And also, we hear a lot of things from our medical. We're seeing that we have a lot of women who are dying at birth, and some of the things that they don't know. So the doula is there to make sure that they know these are some other alternatives to have a healthy birth.
That is so amazing, and you're right. There's been a lot of deaths due to childbirth or the challenges that happen when they're giving birth. But that is amazing. And how did you even discover that there was such a service as the doula? How did it come to be? Because I think I heard about it a couple years ago for the first time. So what made you reach out to them, and how did you know that that service was available for the young mothers?
The first person I saw that was a doula was Erica Badu.
What? I
And
didn't
I
know that.
never knew what a doula was. We hear about midwives, but Erica Badu was the first person I saw that you talked about doula, and I never knew what a doula was. So when I started to have the community baby shower, it was a young lady who actually reached out to me. And one of my students, actually one of my mentees in Richmond, she's now doing doula as well. She's a doula as well. And just to see her doing it was awesome. And she has the video out as well. And so I said, you know what? I think this would be really good to have. I know I said when I wanted to, have my first child, I wanted to be at home. I wanted, just listen to Erica Badu. I said, this is the kind of birth I want. I don't want to be in a hospital. I want to be all natural and holistic and things like that. And so I decided to bring someone to talk to the women about that service, which a lot of the young ladies didn't know anything about. And so it was very eye-opening. And even some of the things that she let the women know, like, if you have a C-section, most doctors say if you have a C-section cut, you can't have a normal birth or, a regular birth canal birth or what so have you. And she was like, that's not true. So it was just some of the things that opened my eyes up to a doula. And I said, I want that at my baby shower every year that I have it.
Now, isn't it amazing how when we get with the young people, and they become the benefactor for all these services and all these
Mm-hmm.
resources and all this support, and then they say, you know what, I want to do that to help other women.
Yes.
I want to do that to help other mothers. And that is so great. And that was one of the things that I often ask organizations to help young people. Like, how many of those young people come back and help you help other young people? And we don't realize that, peer pressure is real, and
Mm-hmm.
peers helping other peers know that you can do more and be more is also real. So
Mm-hmm.
that is really amazing that you help some young people and now they're giving the help to other
Right.
young people.
Right.
And that's how it's supposed to be. Would say each one reach one.
Mm-hmm.
Once you get healed from whatever it is that you're going through, now you become the doctor to help heal other
Correct. Correct.
people. And that is amazing. I'm thinking back about how you and I met. I didn't even know of a Marjorie McLean until I actually saw your event for the mother's baby shower. And I was like,
Mm-hmm.
oh, it's a great thing. So I want to help. And before I even met you or really knew what you were doing, I said, she's doing some great things. And now
Mm-hmm.
here we are months later, we've been out and we've fellowshipped and you've been to my party and we've had lunches and all kinds
Right.
of stuff. But that just leads me to note that there are so many people that you will come across doing like things or things you're interested in and things that
Mm-hmm.
mean something to you. And this is what volunteering is all about. This is about supporting organizations in the community that doing the things that you're passionate about.
Right.
Sometimes it won't be you to start the nonprofit. Sometimes it won't be you doing the actual work or having the vision, but there are other organizations in the community like, I want to get behind what they're doing because that really makes a difference. And it's something I want to enhance, something I want
Mm-hmm.
to make a difference in. So tell people, how did you get it from being something that you was doing before you actually got it to be a nonprofit? What was that transition like? Because some
It the transition really wasn't hard. It was just finding the information that I needed to start the nonprofit. Like we was already doing community service as a team already. And like I said, in high school, I was doing a lot of volunteer service already. And so just starting the group what we started, it just kind of, and then watching my grandmother, how she helped. So it was kind of like ingrained in me to be a help. As well as then I started joining organizations, my sorority, my other organization.
We will be back after this message.
Cheryl T. Ricks is the author of the published book, Sister Circle, The Power of Sisterhood, a guide to becoming the woman God designed you to be. Cheryl is the president, founder, and CEO of the Women Empowerment Circle, LLC. Her book is changing lives. It is a book for women that describes how important unity among women is to every woman's wholeness. It shows that a sister circle will help women understand the womanhood process and how to avoid the pitfalls that women often experience. It teaches women how to value themselves and each other.
Welcome back.
But like you were saying, it's like, how you transition from, doing it from the kindness of your heart to a nonprofit to actually gather support for what you were doing. But you noticed that you also shared with me that you were a teacher. What age students do you have? What grades do you teach?
Now I teach fifth grade. I started teaching high school, which is where I started my mentoring program, and then moved to middle school. So now I went down to elementary, which is a big difference. However, I have some young ladies that want me to start a mentoring program here, so they want to do modeling. And so I said, well, I'll start a modeling club with them, and then we'll go from there on how to dress and working with them as well. But yeah, so we're gonna try to start a modeling club here.
Isn't it amazing how God uses our gifts to enhance the community to make a difference in the
Mhm.
world? And a lot of times people have the gift and they know they can make a difference, but sometimes they're afraid to put
Mm-hmm.
themselves out there. They're afraid
Mm-hmm.
to, like, maybe I won't do it good. Maybe they won't like me, you know. So how was it that you were able to, you were teaching and you're doing the mentoring groups? How was it for you? Was it because you just seen your grandma model so much stuff that it was easy for you to just bring it all out and say, I can help here, I can help there. I'm going to go make a difference over there. I see the need over here. I see that I can help in this area. I can help this segment of the population. So for people who really don't understand how to come out of their comfort zone and go and use their gift, talents, abilities to make the difference that they can, what would you say to them?
I would say know what your niche is. That's one of the things I teach when I teach young students when they want to start a business. You need to know your niche, know what your passion is. Just because you see the help is needed does not mean that that's your passion. That's where you need to be. So you need to figure out what it is that you love to do. What is it that makes you happy? What is it that makes you feel good? And that's where you need to stay. So in other words, stay in your lane, I would say. And then from there, figure out who is the people that you're supposed to be helping, because you can't help everyone. Everyone is not for you. Everyone is not your, I'm gonna say project, but everyone is not your it's not your ministry. So you need to know prayer and ask the Lord to send you the right people, to give you the guidance on where you're supposed to be. And a lot of times, one thing I found out was the people that he asked me to help is not the people that I wanted to help. But that's who he told me to help anyways. And I kind of set off of it and was hard headed. And I'm like, well, Lord, I don't like working with these type of people, not that type of people, but he gave me the ministry of women. And I wasn't never one who loved to hang around a lot of women. I was the one that hang around the fellas. I was like a tomboy, I hang around the guys, women. I was like, I had my small group of girls and that was it. But now he has just been giving me more and more females to come and help. And that actually been the ministry, and not realizing also that the ministry that he gives us, we got to go through a trial and tribulation to be able to relate to the women that he told us to help. So I was like, well, God, like, listen, I wasn't expecting for you to send me through or give me through all this, just to get there, So I'm like, this is too much, And it seems like the ministry that he give you is too much. But at the end of the day, when I see how, and even sometimes I don't think what I'm doing is enough. But then when you have women that come and give testimony, like, oh my God, you help. And sometimes I help women that just from my post on Facebook. And I don't even know I don't even know these people. They just start sending me messages like, thank you so much. You don't know how much you have inspired me. I'm like, oh, okay. It's just, okay. And they just send it like, thank you so much. I needed that post. And sometimes it's post about what I go through, sometimes mentally, what I'm going through, somebody else is going through that, and they see that they're not the only ones that's going through it. Or they see, wow, she's strong. She's doing this and that, but she's going through that. And I'm like, I'm very transparent. I don't hold back because I never know who's going through whatever. And to let them know, yeah, you can be strong, you can look strong, but sometimes we really honestly be going through some things on the inside. So, yeah.
I can truly relate to that. And not just in my own life, but in other people's lives that I see. Like, we think that all this drama, all this heartache and pain and suffering, we think is being wasted. But what does the Lord say? He said he's working all things together for our good.
Right.
And it's something about having to walk in those shoes and go through those valley experiences and go through those highs and lows, those twists and turns, the tears and the joys. It's like, oh, that's who God want me to serve. That's the people who walked in their shoes or who are walking in those shoes that I can help because I understand where they are and how to get from where they are to where you want to be. And there's something about, also recognizing that everything that we endure and everything that we learn, there's somebody else trying to figure it out. Somebody else is trying to find that particular solution that God let us find. And when we go back and we say, you know what, I'm going back because I was a teen mom, teacher teen moms. I was, I've gone through all kinds of things, mental health, cancers, all kinds of things I've gone through. And I wouldn't have wished it on anybody.
Yeah.
But God brought me through it, and He allowed me to still grow and evolve into who He would use me for this season of my life. And we do think, oh, I want the calling, I want that position, I want to have that impact. Okay, get ready to suffer something.
You gotta be careful what you ask for. Yeah, you be careful
That's
what
the
you ask for.
preparation. The suffering is the preparation. Getting to the other side or through is what qualifies you to help the people.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
it's like, oh, I don't, you ain't suffered nothing, you ain't feeling. That's why sometimes people say, I can't relate to them. They see, like, when they write these books, it's like, they talking, but I don't relate to them. I don't feel like they being real enough. They just writing words on the thing. But when somebody like you're writing or you're sharing or you're posting, some thoughts, or you're just sharing your journey, people relate to you because you're being real. You're being transparent, and you're letting people know that, hey, you may see me here, but that don't mean that I'm not going through just because I'm here. And people don't understand that, life has all kinds of stuff, and none of us is going to escape
Right.
through the trials of life. But the good thing is God bring people like you, people like me, and people like other people that have gift, talents, and abilities to help us get through it. And that's what this show is all about. Your gifts will make room for you, because if you use them, you'll be surprised what you can do to make a difference. And you'll be surprised how fulfilling your life becomes, because you're actually using those gifts, talents, and ability to be a blessing to someone else. And it's not meant for us to keep them to ourselves. Oh, I'm not doing that. I don't want to get involved. Look, you sitting home with these blessings that people are just going through challenges, searching for, trying to get what God is giving you, and you trying to keep it to yourself. No, get out the house. Find some place that you can start. It ain't got to be a lot. It ain't got to be for a long period of time. And I'm from the school of this. If everybody on the planet would do at least 1 to 2 hours of community service or work in a nonprofit for 2 hours a week, while they doing their 9 to 5, or if they do it on the weekends or after work, if they would do that, everything that we need, the community has.
Yes.
But
Yes.
people want to get paid for everything.
Yes. Everything. Yes.
I don't know about you, but when I went to college, God gave me the game plan.
Yeah.
And you know what? People are not going to hire you because you have a college degree. They're going to hire you when you can say that you went here and you did this and added that.
Yes. Yes.
So all through my school, I went to volunteer at different organizations. So by the time I did graduate, I had recommendation letters from people saying, oh, she did this, she was that, she was conscientious, she was very helpful, she did more than we asked, she was on time, even though we weren't paying her, she stayed late, she helped out any way she could. And that's what volunteer does. People looking for jobs. Even if you're between jobs, go somewhere and utilize your services.
Yes. Yes.
Be surprised. You may get hired where you volunteer, because that's what happened to me.
Right.
And so, it's just amazing how, we can have all these gift, talents, and abilities. And because of what may be going on inside of us, I don't feel good enough. I don't feel like that's nothing special about me. That was telling all of us those lies. And then we got to get out and to a place where people can actually see the us that we are, and what we bring when we show up. It's not about being paid. It's not about fame and fortune. It's just about, I just want to help. I just want to help. So we get taking money out of the place, or getting, known by everybody. If we could just go help somebody, help somebody, So with you doing all those things, what was it about, I know you said you have a sorority too. So do your sorority support the things that you're doing in the community or other community organizations?
Yes. The name of my sorority is Margie McLean, is Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated. And of course, we started as a community service organization in Washington, D.C. in 1913. And so that is pretty much the basis of our organization, is service, sisterhood, and scholarship. And so, just being in that organization by itself, it actually pretty much just heightened what I already do anyways in the community. But also it just showed me a different level of what I could do. And I will say that my sorority sisters, they definitely support me in what I do, whether it be monetary support or they're there, lending a hand as well, or just encouragement on what I'm already doing. So I actually really love the organization. And, not only do I meet sorors here in my city, it's just I have sorors everywhere who see what I do and they support me as well. So I love it. I love being in an organization. It's the best decision I made.
That's amazing how when you started this conversation, you shared how women just wasn't your thing. And all my friends are men. All my friends, I just can't give it no women. But isn't it amazing when as we grow as women and we're being prepared for the work and the service that God had for us,
Mm-hmm.
and a lot of those uncomfortable things we learned that it's really not that bad. Every woman is not going to do whatever we feel some women have done to us. And my whole thing is all about sisterhood too. And so just recognizing the importance of having other positive women in your
Yeah.
life. This journey called life and womanhood, it ain't no cakewalk. And you're
Right.
going to need some guidance. You're going to need some support. You're going to need some insight. You're going to need some pure jewels of
Mhm.
inspiration. You're going to need some things to help you along the way. Going some guidance, some direction. Like, girl, let me tell you, I had to deal with that 5 years ago. All you can do is you call down here, tell them this, and it's done. What? I've been stressing for the last 3 weeks on this thing. So when we get together as women, we give so much that we need for our journey of life and womanhood. And I'm telling you, I'm so happy to know that you in the community doing what you're doing, because those are the kind of things that I can do. And
Yeah.
I've already been here, been there, but I want to hear more about that self-help thing that you're doing. And Charlotte, tell us some more about that.
So the Divas empowerment it started off as a Diva Empowerment Retreat, and I changed it to Divas Self-Care and Holistic Wellness. And with that being said, Diva stands for Divinely Inspired, Victorious, and Serving. And so and we serve and change. So the A is the a Greek letter, Delta Greek letter, of course. And so we're serving change in our community. And so that's what I want us to do, is to see how we can change our mindset. We can do it self-care. Sometimes we just need to get away and from everything, from the hustle and bustle of work, from children, from husband, from just, a lot of times we just need to retreat. I didn't want to call it a women's conference because a lot of times we think about women's conference, we think about church, and a lot of people don't want to come because of that. So they think it's all preaching. And I want women from all backgrounds to be able to come, no matter what your religion is, come, because we as women, no matter what your religion is, we all are still dealing with the same thing as women, in some facet. So I wanted us to come together and build like a sister circle, a sisterhood. Again, have some women who have already been down that road to come and not just tell you their sad story, but tell you how they overcame it. We do a sister circle as well. Mine is called Bag Lady, which I love that. I did that just recently last month, and it was just awesome just to see the women pour out things. It was just like a release of things that they've been holding in, and just for them to release it, cry it out, what so have you. I told them, if you want to throw your wig off, take your shoes off, whatever, you want to roll on the floor and cry, we are here together. And then for us, after they released it, we got rid of the bag by shredding it up. And every now and then I call them, I say, you ain't picked that bag up, did you? And so they were like, no, I didn't pick it up. I said, okay, now don't pick the bag up. Don't put anything else in the bag, And so, we have had some really dynamic transformation in women. I have on my page, Chemistry Growth Mindset, some of the testimonials of women who have came and how it just changed their lives. And it's not even about me. It's about these women. And I started it around the time, I want to say it was oh my God, I want to say it was 2009 or some, I can't remember. It was around sometime where, the economy was going down, people was losing their jobs and everything. And we was just so defeated. And I was like, hey, let's just get away and let's do it at the beach. And I used the sea of forgiveness. We just throw everything in the sea and we forget about it and we leave. And so it just kind of grew from there. And so this year we're going to be in Charlotte. We had it at the beach this year. We're going to be in Charlotte, March 8th through the 10th. And we have some dynamic speakers that's going to be there, that's going to come on. I'm gonna do a workshop. We're gonna have some yoga there. And I have another young lady that's gonna come and do a prayer board. So and then we're gonna have fun. It's not just coming to a workshop. We also gonna have fun. We're gonna go out. We're gonna do an escape room, or we're gonna do dinner together, dress up, look cute, and we're gonna go out and experience Charlotte, do some shopping. But it's just a big retreat and stuff. And I want people to come and not feel like they have to be so professional. I want you to come and just be yourself and meet other women. And now, and you end up with friends from different places, people that you never probably would meet. Now they're friends, so I love it.
That is so awesome. And there's something about recognizing that as women, if we would stop believing the lie that the devil is trying to get us to believe women can't get along, they this, they that, they this, they that. If we can just get past all that yak, all them lies that the devil feed us women, we would be making such a greater impact. As you know what the scripture says, one can put 1,000 to flight, two can put 10,000 to flight. One woman is an army of one. She do all kinds of things, just her. But you can get women together, 2 and 2, or just a couple together. We would change this world around so fast for the better, it wouldn't even take a minute.
Yes.
And that's what we have to be mindful of. And there's so many things that we do for others that we just don't know how to do for ourselves.
Right.
We know everybody's doctor appointment. We know what they need to be taking for their health and well-being. We know exactly how to help them support the dreams they have, but we don't do that for ourselves. And just like it's difficult for each of us to do what we need to do for us and ask for the help that we need and help and receive all the help and the blessings we give to us, is so difficult. It's almost like when people try to bless a woman, it's like they cussed you out one side and the other. I'm trying to bless you and you're making me feel like I'm hurting in some way. We've got to get better at learning to receive and learning that I am a person to have a place in my life too. It can't be all about them. It can't be all about the ministry. It can't be all about, the people I care about and the stray cat, the stray dog, stray person. We have to include ourselves to care for and take care of and be mindful of what we need, like we are mindful of other people. And the same challenge, even though you're doing all that you're doing, I'm sure there's some places in your life where, you know what, I need to come higher on that. I need to get better at doing that for me. I need to get better at asking for the help that I need. Sometimes it don't come from where you sow the seed. Sometimes it's going to come from somewhere you don't even know where it's going to come from or where it comes. Receive it, because all good and perfect gifts come from God above. And if we recognize that it's not the person trying to be the blessing, it's God asking them to bring that thing to you or to me or someone so that he let us know that he's heard our prayers. And so when we actually start learning to receive as good as we give, it's not selfish. It's reciprocity. Reciprocity. I didn't do it to give, but I appreciate what you've done. I got to give you some, because that's what love does. Love gives, and love takes.
Yeah.
You loving, you're going to give, and you can't keep love going out and don't allow love to come back in.
Correct.
God even said, whatever seed you sow, you're going to get a harvest. So just don't think because you do something bad that's coming back. When you do something good, that's coming back too. And don't be so easy, like, what goes around comes around. I did that. That should come back to me. But we don't realize all the good seeds we have in our ground. We don't realize that all those good things are going to come back just as easily, but we just have to be willing to receive. So when you think about all the things that God had you doing, how was it that you identified these gifts and doing all these services and stuff? How did you realize that the gifts you had could make the difference that they're making?
One of the things, the first thing I had to pray and ask the Lord to show me what my gift was, first of all. I always had to consult him. But again, just listen to the testimonials of people coming back, my students that I still talk to from teaching 20 years ago, seeing how I made a difference. When I have a sister at the church who came to my retreat, and I saw how she was when she came versus how she left and how she is now. And to hear her say, listen, if it wasn't for the retreat, I don't know what I would have done. I wasn't planning on coming, but I decided to come. And when y'all prayed for me that Sunday, it just made a difference in my life. And, you can see the change in her. Students who come back and, they have like testimonials on my page where they say, what's your best teacher, and tell something about it. And students come and they make posts and tag me on it and talk about how I made a difference in their lives, and I'm not doing that for fame, but I do that because I really wanted to have someone, in my life, which I did, to make a difference. And I want to be that teacher as well. And I want to be that person. A lot of times as saints, we don't realize that we're supposed to help somebody else. We're supposed to actually be servants is what we're supposed to do, not being self-serving. We're supposed to be serving. And then with that being said, turn around, someone will be serving us as well. So that's what I love doing. I love service. I love seeing the light bulb come off. I love to see how change has happened, like where you were and how change, and not necessarily saying it's because of me. Sometimes I may just plant the seed. Sometimes I may plant and water. Sometimes I may get the sunlight, and to make you grow. But if it's just one seed that I plant and you grow into this beautiful flower, that's enough for me. I don't have to do everything else, So I just live by the principles of the Bible, honestly. I started studying Jesus and how he walked now. And so I try to follow that. Not saying I do everything and I get everything, cross every T and dot every I. I don't. But I try my best to do as many as I can. And so that's how I figured out what my gift was. And then, of course, I'm a dreamer, and he just gave me the dream of some of the things that he wanted me to do. And again, like I said, I was like, that ain't what I want to do, God. And, he's just like, this is where you're supposed to be. And so when I hear women talking to me about their life change and things, and then I hear God in my ear like, see, I told you that's what you're supposed to be doing. I'm like, okay, God, all right, I got it. Okay, I'll be obedient. So so yes, that's how I know that it's what I'm supposed to be doing.
Now let me ask you, the status of schools these days across the country and the world is very different. Coming out of the pandemic and then all the different changes and the break between, people trying to learn schooling on a computer virtually. So what are the kinds of things that you, as an educator, would like our parents to know and how to help you educate our children? What are some of those challenges or some of those things that we can do as parents, we can do as community people? What can we do to help you do what you do in schools?
I say one of the things is, if you don't know the subject, it's so much stuff on YouTube. We call it YouTube University that you can learn. We need more active parents in the classrooms and in the schools. Come to the schools, volunteer, be a part of the PTA, go to the school board meetings and see what's happening in your area. Fight for your children. Fight for your children in the education system. It's okay to do that. Work with the teachers more and say, hey, what is it that I can do? Ask the teacher. Sometimes we love when parents come to us and say, what is it that I can do to help you in the classroom? And I'm like, yes. And I'm just typing. I know for me, one of the things I do, we have something called Class Dojo. So anytime that I'm teaching a subject in my classroom, I post it on Class Dojo so the parents can see what I'm teaching the kids. I post YouTube videos of tutoring, and I had a parent that said, thank you so much, because I didn't know how I was going to help my kids. So now just from this YouTube, I can watch this and now I can help my kid. And I get it, because even as a teacher, when I came to start teaching math, this what they call the new math, I was like, I don't know this. I don't know how to teach this new math. What is this? I'm used to, Gen X, old school way I learned math. So even me as a teacher, I had to learn. But it feels good to a student, where a student can teach you. So I had a student teach me what they call the box method. And I was like, okay. So I'm like the student, like, yes, you taught me. They're like, I taught you something. I said, yes, you taught me something. So it's good for parents to do the same thing with their students. Just go and say, okay, what did you learn today in school? All right, how can I help? I can't help you now, but what I do is I'll look online and I figure it out, and then I come back and help you. Be a little bit more proactive and interactive with your children, and also the same way with your teachers. Don't think that we're an enemy, because I think that is where the disconnect is. Teachers think the parents are the enemies because they're not there. They're not helping in the classroom. They don't respond to anything. But we don't know the life of the parent. But the teachers, also the parents, don't really know the life of what we're dealing with in the classroom, on top of what we're dealing with in our own lives. So not only we dealing with the classroom, we dealing with our own lives as well. So it's just somewhere where we need to learn how to get our parents and teachers to mash together.
Well, you mentioned that you have a YouTube channel. So what is that YouTube channel that parents can go to and learn some of what you're teaching the kids so they can help their students when they're at home?
So for my nonprofit organization, I'm starting to work more with parents. So we're going to be putting more videos on the YouTube channel and also my Facebook page. We do tips, different tips that parents can use to help their child, to help their infant as well. So they can follow me at Margie McLean Foundation, and that's McLean, and they can follow me also on YouTube. We have a lot of videos, not only just talking about education, but we talk about domestic violence, we talk about teen dating violence, mental health issues. We talk about that as well. And so just go there and listen to some of our videos. You can go on YouTube and find those videos as well. So we want to be able to give the parents tips, and then also become a little bit more interactive on my page. If you have questions that you have, post it. And, and I'll answer those questions for you or someone else. It'd be a little bit more interactive when we having a conversation online. So looking for more parents to come on and interact with me.
One of the things that I thought of when you were sharing all that, and you've been teaching now over 20 years, tell me some of the things that you enjoy about teaching that you've been doing it for over 20 years.
You know what? I love, not only am I a teacher of curriculum, I teach kids life. So I make the curriculum relevant to their lives. And like I said, for them to come 10 years or 5 years or whatever and say, I still remember that from 10 years ago. I'm like, yes, I taught you something. So I think for me, just to see in the light bulb, I love seeing where, not necessarily love it, but I like where I can make a difference in that teacher. Even just this year, becoming a 5th grade teacher for the first time, I have students who came to me and said, Ms. McLean, I have learned more in your class in these, couple of months than I learned being at, 1 through 4. And I'm like, why is that? What are the teachers not doing? Or what is it that is not, are they not making it relevant to the kids? But I love working with the underdog kids that grew up in the neighborhoods that I grew up in, kids who are kind of like what you call the throwaway kids, how they rezone and they put certain socioeconomic group of kids together, and you have your other, economic kids in another area. But I like working with the kids that I'm with now. And so just to see them make a transition, you can see the transition from the beginning of the school year to the end. That is a big, push for me to stay in education. But I am coming up to the years of where it's time for me to transition out of education and do something a little bit different, and possibly being an advocate for our parents.
Oh, wow. That would be amazing. That would be amazing. Let me ask you this. List some of the gift, talents, and ability that you identified over the years and how you use, and we know how you use them, but what are those gifts? What were those gift, talents, and abilities that you discovered that you had along your life journey?
Oh God, I do so much. I'm certified in just about, people pick at me about talking about, you got like 50 degrees. I'm certified as a program manager. So I am an event planner and a wedding planner, so I can do that. And so I'm good at putting together events and managing those events. I'm certified as a CNA. So I definitely push health and wellness. I'm also certified as a yoga instructor and also mindful meditator as well. So I brought that into my classroom, started doing meditation and yoga with my kids, and it made a difference with them, and even teaching them where they use their strategies at home. When they get upset, they know how to breathe properly. They put their yoga or their meditation on and go to sleep, and they said it helped them out a lot. I noticed where it does help in my classroom as well. What else am I certified in, Lord? Also I do flyers. I just started normally I just do my own thing. Instead of paying someone a whole bunch of money, I just decided, well, Lord, you know what? I'm gonna learn how to do this myself. So I started making flyers and started getting paid for doing those. What else? I was now remember I said I was a tomboy, right? Never thought that I'd be modeling. So I do fashion shows. I walk and I'm a model as well. So just different things. I guess I just am one who I'll try it. And that's one thing my dad said before he passed was, well, I'll give it to you. You're not afraid to try anything. And I said, yeah, if it doesn't work, then I move on. If it does, and that's something I love to do. I started making jewelry. And so just looking and just whatever I put my hands to, that's one of the things my bishop said. He says, just something in your hands. Whatever you put your hands to, it just flourish. And so that's what I started doing. So I guess that's my gift, is my hands. So
that is amazing. And I know about those flyers because you created a wonderful one for me. I really need to get that so I can.
Okay.
The other thing that there's so many people that are planning events. How often I know you planning your own events, your retreats and stuff like that, but how often do you do events for people? Because I just thought, now that you mentioned it to me, I'm definitely going to be calling you because I want to do an event here in Maryland, and one in North Carolina and one in Maryland. So I definitely going to be calling you. But do people just go to the same website? Do you have a certain website that you do the event planning?
I haven't started my website, but I will be opening that up soon. I haven't really been doing many events lately because, with school, teaching, I'm going back to school and trying to put my own events together. It's been kind of busy. But normally, whenever someone needs an event, I try to help them as much. Sometimes what I do is I am directly in the event. Sometimes what I do is I may plan the event for them and then they take it from there. Or I may be day of, they have already planned, and then I come in and I'm just coordinating the event to make sure everything is working fine. Or sometimes I do the full event planning where I plan the event. I get them the DJ, I get them a cake, I do all of that stuff. I just take it out of their hands. And then that day I'm coordinating as well. So it depends on what the client wants at the time and also what they're willing to pay for as well. So,
but you know what? When God says your gift will make room for you and bring you before great men, they won't bring you before anybody if you don't leave the house. Let people know what you're doing. We have to evolve. I remember before I came to the Lord, I was kind of a wallflower. I wasn't no social butterfly like I am now. But it's something about growing in the Lord and helping Him to help you to see who you are in Him and what He created you to be, and helping you to recognize that people not walking around with a eyeball in the middle of their forehead.
Right.
Talk to people. They're human just like you. They don't some people have claws with those nails, but yeah, just reach out and you don't have to go places you don't feel comfortable, but find places you can go so you can really get comfortable.
Absolutely.
We can't keep these gifts, talents, and abilities to ourselves. We got to give them to others. That's how we give God glory. If we keep them to us, God don't get no glory.
Yes.
No, God uses all of us to do amazing things. He uses our hands, our feet, our ideas. He uses our creativity. He uses our everything to make a difference in the earth. So I'm just so excited that you have stopped by our show today. And I just would like you to, I know you shared earlier where you can be contacted. So if you can give us your contact information and where people could meet, connect with you.
Yes, if life coaching, you can follow me at Chemistry Growth Mindset. That is KEMISTRY on Facebook, on Instagram. Also, I'm getting ready to start my TikTok as well. Find my TikTok as well, and my YouTube. Also, you can find me at Margie McLean Foundation. McLean is spelled MCLEAN, and you can find me also on LinkedIn, Facebook, and also Instagram, and my YouTube channel, and go by and see some of the things we do. We do some positive things. One of the things we do that I really would love to have some readers to come on. I have the Rainbow Storytime where we have readers come on and read to children all over the world. We are now seen in about 10 countries now. So we would love to have some readers to come on, and you can go on and even see our videos of our readers who have already visited us.
That is so awesome. Now that I think about it, there are so many things that God has given all of us. All we have to do is say, you know what can I help?
Yep.
I don't have to do what anybody else does. I don't have to do it the way anybody else do it.
Yes.
All I need to do is help somebody. And I find that if you are on your mind, it's all about you, what you need, what you know what nobody's doing for you, it's a miserable life. But if
Right.
you go out and you help some people, you go out and make a difference. Sometimes it's not about monetary, sometimes it's just giving a smile or
Right.
giving a kind word or making a post on social media. It could be anything. Just find a way to get out into the world and make a
Yes.
difference, because
Yes.
your gift will make room for you, and it will make a room for you that make you feel so fulfilled and so
Mm-hmm.
in life. You
Mm-hmm.
just got to get you off your mind,
Right.
get you out of the center of your own attention, and go and make a difference somewhere else. So I thank you so much for being on the show today.
Thank you for
And
having me.
I want you to continue to do what you're doing, because you cannot do it. You cannot stop, because I know this is who you are. This ain't what you do. This is you being Margie. So just keep doing what you're doing, because God is well pleased with you. So until next time, be blessed and keep the new year new. God bless. Take
God
care.
bless you. Thank you.